No one's gonna want to be me. I am the useless. Everybody just bow down. I'm the queen. But you're gonna have to luscious hair so long. How do you dye your hair?
Okay.
I'm done.
How did I dye my hair?
Yeah,
It's a different hair. What? Purple. Purple. Stop copying my hair.
It totally did not just stand.
What?
I didn't process.
Okay, kill purple.
Purple's my friend.
Oh, no.
She's the one that.
She's another imposter.
Mhm.
Get away. Purple.
I'm looking for people to kill. Oh no, Black saw me. Okay. Black! No, but I'm black! Don't vote for me over purple.
Okay, where's purple? How do you spell purple?
No, not purple. She's my teammate. Look, on my tablet. No, I know, but I want to get her out. Now I'm gonna vote you. No. And I'm gonna show you. I think it's AB was. Okay, vote for purple, but I actually voted you. I meant to vote purple. She's right beside you, okay? You're lucky it's a target because I didn't mean to vote you.
Oh no, people are voting for me.
I'm gonna bet in front of everybody.
Okay.
No, but I don't want to. I was talking literally. I was just about.
Turtle's gonna kill me because I almost kicked her out and I copied her hair. She's after me.
Bye bye, guys. Hope you have a good day.
I need to be next to someone. I'm scared.
Me?
Protect me, Brown.
I'm looking for.
Protect me, Brown.
I'm looking for a
Protect
vent.
me. Someone protect me. I don't want to get killed. At least I have someone that would report me.
Oh! Oh, literally, I was about to kill someone. A vent. I want me to be the only imposter. Oh,
Purple.
purple.
Everybody vote.
Yeah, Papa, that's right. I savage love you. Savage love.
Yes, I got them. I'm all like,
No, trust me, you have to protect me after. No, you got that.
I'm gonna tell it to you.
No,
Don't kill me. I gotta be next to someone. Please protect me.
I'm gonna kill them.
I'm gonna kill everybody. Oh no.
Run around the circles. Run away, run away, run around the circles. Run
Don't
away.
kill Orange. He's my best friend.
Kill orange, kill orange, kill orange, kill orange. Yes, I'm the best savage love. I killed orange because
Yeah, reporter.
this is your best
Report.
friend. That was not me.
Woo!
No.
It was white. I didn't even put anything white.
No.
Blue. It's blue.
No. Black. Black. You don't know what's called black. Are you serious? You're gonna get away with this one. No, I killed your best friend anyway. So I don't
Yeah, so you killed my best friend.
I thought you meant the other person. Oh yeah, you said would say.
This girl named Juliana Parpitz was voting for me, and then she
Yeah, this castle boring
she was
shit.
saying, "Oh, it's her. I know it. She copied me." And then she noticed that I didn't.
I'm gonna be an elf. What do elves wear? Elves wear hats. So an elf has many hats. You ready? I look beautiful. You don't watch with me?
No.
I'm green.
Oh.
What's funny as my
We will
head?
protect each other, and we will.
I'm doing
everybody.
everybody.
Julia, I would only do it. I just voted you out because you know why?
Why?
Because we were both. I wanted to wait till we were both the imposters.
Okay, after we gotta go kill. I want to kill white fox and like the team.
But there's bunch of people here.
Yeah, let's go fence somewhere. Let's go fence somewhere with one person.
Ah.
No one's gonna be dead, of course. We are all together.
What? You said once.
Oops, I actually voted for someone.
You voted for yourself?
No, boy. Stop it. Wait up. Yeah, I'm laughing. And now it's just that I voted for myself. And play. What? Oh, yes, it's a tie.
What in the world? I feel like white and orange voted me. Literally did it.
Let's go kill them.
Let's kill especially yellow. I'm gonna kill yellow no matter what. You got to.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try to find the other one. He muted himself. Let's make go on and
I'm pretending I'm doing my task.
and bang. I'm trying to get
GSP in the chat.
What?
Should I switch over or what?
Green? Oh, Julia.
It's yellow. It's not yellow.
I know you saw me then. Kill yellow.
Yeah, no matter what.
Oh, Julia. Look at me. Look towards the dead body. And I'll kill him. Oh.
15, alright.
I killed his wife so we can win because she is one of them that voted for us.
Yay! I killed yellow. You should kill yellow no matter what. I don't think it's outside. Take red and then off. Like, I want money on my
I want to have.
I want black. No, I'll be black.
I'd love to be able to jump on something over here.
I like the money out of my head, right?
That would be
Like,
great.
And I'll have the money in my head. No, I don't want to have the coffee.
Abdul, look at me, I'm a dino. Crewmates.
Crewmate.
Abdul, I look so cool. And dino.
I love it.
Yeah, you see if my dino bites.
I don't know where to go. This game is real fun. It's a whole lot of fun.
Wrong way. If you keep on calling me, I always have to.
Hold.
That's completed. Everyone, the yellow and brown is just by them with this.
Fuck do I get over there?
I just killed his wife. Okay.
Wait, did I watch them?
No. I want to kill you.
Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me.
Oh no, yo. Okay. Teal saw too much. She saw me then.
I can't get up from here.
I'm killed. I'm killed.
Wait, what? No,
This
it's
is fucking terrible.
It's Teal. And they saw way too much.
So bad.
Angela, who are you working with?
Maybe it's rain.
Yellow? Jimmy's gonna kill me.
So bad.
I killed him.
Okay.
I can't get over from there.
Dead body.
I think it's gonna be going to me. Don't vote for me. Look, where? Where?
Green.
Oh my god.
Green.
Wait, you're green.
Yeah.
Green. Say it's just me. I'm sus. Just say I'm so sus. Say I'm so sus, Julia.
I am
So sus.
sus. I am sus. Yes. Vote for me. Vote for me.
Thanks, Julia. I'm sus. You're all like, vote for me. I am sus. I am sus.
I'm gonna say yes. Yes. I'm muted.
Some people are about to die.
Just don't kill me. Wait, I'm not again. I'm gonna follow you. I'm going through a bunch of things to get to my
I'm gonna be pretending.
what is this?
People saw too much that I did.
Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna do it fast. Yeah. No, please, I want you to finish my task before you kill everybody. Before you kill me, I want. No, don't kill anybody. I wanted to. Abigail, I wanted to make task before I can die.
Why did purple vote for herself?
When
Red and me were the purple. Kill someone blue.
hey, I'm green, so I find you in front of
How do you
me.
get a big rod?
I'm gonna keep
A
my
big stick
green.
thing.
No one's gonna take my green. I love my green. I love my diamond heart. No,
The plug's over here.
Where?
I moved it because I cut my hair. I can't go in here. This game fucking sucks.
Give it to me. What about you?
Abigail, I'm gonna talk them.
Oh,
The woman.
I love.
It's both black. It's my
And if you lose, if someone
brown is my both brown.
wait, am I having a dark green? I'm gonna act very sus. I'm gonna act very sus.
I'm pretending that I'm gonna be attacked to attack our attack.
I'm pretending I just did a thing. Right over a vent. I invented.
I just killed someone.
I invented.
I forgot how to
I vented. Look at my kill. I vented. I killed. Vote for me.
Okay, I'll vote for you.
I vented. I killed.
Black.
Everybody voted.
Sus. Sus.
Oh my god.
It was me. I'm all like, it was me.
Can't use this. That would be too fucking easy to make a goddamn tool to take you to the back of the fucking entrance. Oh, you can't use it. Fun! It's a fun fucking game!
Hopefully you still can. I just purple and I will put it. Hopefully nobody says that's purple.
Say it was pink.
The game is fucking annoying!
Yep.
It's pink. Not pink.
Wow. Stop it. Now I just need to kill 2.
Who's your partner?
Oh,
No.
it's purple.
Papa?
Mm-hmm. That was fun. Victory! Wow.
Yeah, I was wondering about that because I'm wondering, like, Julian, what do you mean purple? You killed purple.
I want to keep my color because it matches my dinosaur, but I also want to be blue.
Wait, Julia, do you want to switch colors when we green?
I'm blue. I'm green.
I want to,
You want the dino hat?
I want the dino hat.
But I want it.
Are you green?
I have octopus. Fine, you can have the dino hat. I'll be swag.
No, I'll have something else. I have any Chinese.
Mine's swag.
I did mine. Chinese hats.
I'm gonna look at swag. I'm Dawson. And I am a crewmate.
I'm a crewmate. Let's see about this.
I'm
Why is this? I am always a crewmate. Totally. Most of the time I am an imposter, right? I'm so surprised that I'm the imposter again. Well, don't vote for me, please. I'm the imposter.
Tell your pink once you stop following me. Is it white that you're working with? Who are you working with? Who are you working with?
Why?
I'm gonna skip her. Whoa. Wait, so
I have.
get out.
I don't know where to go.
You don't want me to skip rope.
I can't fucking fight the enemy.
Yeah, most people skip the vote. What? Red voted for me.
What?
Literally, red's on my
Did
side.
you skip? No, I thought I guessed it. I like the game how it's supposed to
I gotta kill red.
Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me.
If anything, I'm gonna kill red.
This is my favorite.
Going down's the wrong way. This goddamn game fucking sucks.
This is my favorite one. This is my favorite task. I have to complete it before I die. I'm gonna miss this. Thanks, God. I look so sad. favorite task completed. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like how White just said okay.
Yeah. No.
Well, White's gonna be my next.
What's your next target? I have a really important task, so don't kill me.
My favorite task is venting.
I don't know what to do this task.
Well, expensive fitness gear. I can't afford it.
Yellow is working with you.
Has rates that pay no much.
Why didn't
Like Yellow's working with you.
I'm taking green back. Give me my green back. Take green back. And I will take my green back. I want my beautiful green back.
Okay, you wanna be white or red? Or white?
And now my hat is the time.
Also, your phone let it go green. Are you green?
Yep. And like,
Okay.
I took a Moses.
It was 6 hours. I would have
Are
lost.
you the imposter killer? Okay, don't kill me.
It's a dark blue.
Dark Blue left the game.
I'm taking tasks.
Julia, is blue? Okay.
No, it's blue, dark blue. I'm taking tasks.
Okay, there's
That's all pink.
Okay, can you take care of me?
Yep.
Make sure you
Wait, where are you? Tell me.
make sure.
Make sure.
Hey,
Hey, Pete! Stay out my way.
Wow.
I tried to kill Pete. Pete! Wow. What?
You just said once. You said what?
Wow. What? What is good though? Now I'm starting to want to say whatever.
But you're the imposter.
Wait, Jocelyn left the game, so it's just me. They voted me, Abigail. Why did you vote me?
I didn't. Purple voted you.
Well, you
I'm gonna poke you both if you don't stop yelling.
Don't trust me. Don't trust who?
See, I'm black.
Don't prove it.
The police girl is purple.
Oh, now it's okay.
Not that kind of poke, Chris. Poke him in the stomach, or the back.
Yeah, it hurts.
It don't hurt. You like it.
No, I don't.
Why do I keep doing it then?
I was young. You're being mean.
I'm being mean. Yeah, you're right about that.
No, I got a money. I want to look for one.
Are you done, Foster?
No, I'm listening. I promise.
I'm putting you out.
Come on.
You are the imposter.
No! Look! My wood's on that bed.
Okay.
And I don't have a kill beside me.
We have a good time. Will you either be poked or tickled? Which one would you like better? Tickle or poke?
Hope.
You rather poke, Joy, you like tickle? Poke's easier. Tickle takes a long time.
Well, the poke was small. Right now I'm just doing wires. What about you? Now the poke one. What Jane said, thank you, Megan. I'm going to say bye-bye, good luck. No. No.
Imposter.
Am. No, I am.
No, me. Me.
No.
Try our hearty Italian together with salami and pepperoni or our firehouse meatball sub. Zesty marinara. Just $6.99 each for a medium and only for a limited time at Firehouse Subs. Tap the banner and start your order.
What? That is an M.
Wait, what did it say? What did you
It's
got?
not. I'm actually an imposter.
You're the imposter.
That's me. And what's my last question?
I'm looking for pink. Greg can kill her.
I found pink.
Because I'm the imposter.
I found pink.
Please, I'm a little baby pink.
Yeah. And then I found yellow. And I'm mad.
Yeah, everybody's all like, what's up with these girls that think they're the imposters they're not?
Yeah,
I want you to please.
I want to be black for that.
I'm black, you can be white.
I'm going to be black. You can my one.
You can be white.
Now I'm going to sweat.
And you also need to change your hat to color. And why are you dressed up as a boy?
Because I want to look sweat. No! You're an imposter! I hear that voice!
Yeah, you showed me it before it's shown. It was an imposter.
You can vote me?
I'm sus. Yes, I am. My name is Sus. I'm sus.
No, I am sus.
Let's just do a fight that over that who is sus, okay?
No, she don't go to church. Your mom go to church?
No, I am sus. I am sus. Okay.
She watched church on TV.
Yeah.
No. Me. No. Me. I
You're not wrong, Jasper. Dear Heavenly Father, please give Amber the strength and the courage to continue working hard and providing for our children, and keep her close to you in your hand, because she's prone to wander off and to her own, think she can live without your help, without your grace. So please let her have the clarity of mind to know that nothing would be without you and your grace. Thanks for your son, Jesus. It's in his name we pray. Amen.
I'm gonna fucking do you, Julia.
I just wanted extras. I want extras, not you. You're like, I don't want to confess.
You know, amen means let it be done. I don't know how amen came from it, but it means let it be done or let it be so.
So,
Think Star Trek and make it so. Like Picard.
I did it. Did you type it in?
Yes, it says, I'm so glad.
It was a common meme or trope
Things like
back in the 90s. Make it so. You never heard make it so?
you know, like, I'm so glad you have food. That's so funny.
She said, huh?
He's
I'm
like,
so glad you have food.
I'm just so glad you have food.
This joke is fucking
Yeah.
terrible. You see him fuck with a camera?
Dark Sea
And what is a
Devil.
nap box?
Is that how you say it? Dark Sea Devil? Dark Sea Devil? Or Dark Sea Devil?
Hi, my name is who?
Dark Sea Devil.
Hi, my name is who?
Dark Sea. Devil.
Name's Darcy.
All right, everyone. Welcome. Sorry for that little technical snafu. Those who were watching on stream, I accidentally didn't set up the intro to the show, so they saw a little bit of a sneak preview before I got started here. Welcome, everyone, to the Level 1 podcast. Today is Sunday, the 24th of July, 2022. I'm Darkside Phil. I join you here on this lovely weekend. I hope you're all having a good weekend.
Now I can tell everybody.
Incidentally,
Except me.
I know kind of
I'm gonna go back.
not necessarily disheartening, but kind of a dampen on starting this podcast. Last 2 days, a couple or a few different people who watch my content apparently have come down with
What do I have to
COVID,
save the world?
which is not good.
Wait, I know I'm gonna save the world.
I want
COVID.
everyone out there, please be safe.
You got Biden.
It's scary.
Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon.
Australia, Singapore, and all over the USA who have been telling me that they're getting it now. I'm like, damn. I mean, probably another mutation, another variation. Who knows? First of all, if you have it, I hope you feel better. All right, seriously, I hope that you get better as soon as possible. I hope it doesn't affect you in a huge negative way. And I certainly hope that you have a quick recovery. But it's kind of creepy because, yeah, obviously in the last 2.5 years, there's been people who've been telling me they got COVID on my stream, but I don't think I've ever seen this many in a short period of time, which is kind of creepy and scary. Like, what is going on? Is it like a super contagious strand out there or something? I don't know. But anyway, I wish you all
I
the best.
don't know,
Be
but
safe.
I'm gonna talk
Sadly,
about it
stupid
anyways,
things
because I'm
still not
back,
over.
fucking banging.
Seems like, you know, we're not out of the woods yet. Anyway,
As much as
welcome
he
the Level One
likes
Podcast,
wrestling,
everyone. So,
you know, Triple
we
H,
have completed
Hunter
the new
versus
releases for the
Helmsley,
week. As of yesterday, I
Triple
have
F.
completed not only As
Fat
Falls,
fucking
narrative
banging.
adventure game, but also Stray, the really unique indie game where you play a cat in a futuristic
There you go.
environment. I guess you could argue post-apocalyptic, although it's not clear if that's actually true what it is. Where all the humans are missing and all that's left are robots. And basically you're going
I
around
used to
trying
watch
figure out what's
WWE
happening
when I was
and find a
like
way out of this dome that you're
8,
trapped
9, 10.
in. Two very different kinds of games, okay? And
I think it was Thursday night Raw.
when I first
and
started
then,
playing them,
or
I
no,
really enjoyed them.
SmackDown was
Admittedly,
Wednesday or Thursday,
one
and
of
Raw
them
was like Friday or
kind of
Monday.
wasn't as good by the end as I had hoped, while the other one exceeded all my expectations. And what I'd kind of like to do is talk a little bit about both of those games today, since I've completed them both, and give you my full thoughts on both As Dusk Falls and Stray. Before we move into the schedule,
My favorite was
we have a
Mankind.
lot to talk about.
Big
This
Boy,
rest of the week is
whatever
very
he was
exciting.
going by.
Not only are we going to play more multiverse,
I like the sock. The sock was the best fucking special or finishing move.
Smash Brothers.
Sock.
I actually
I
liked
like
it.
that as a kid.
But also we got Smoke Blazing starting
Stuff
up
a
in
dirty
Batman
ass
Arkham Asylum,
sock in the someone's
Remastered,
mouth.
which you guys have wanted for a while. I'm excited for that. We got good variety coming up. By the way, in less than a week, we've got the What's in Phil's Closet Marathon coming up. So we've got a lot to talk about. All right. So let's do it. Let's just jump right in. Okay. So first of all, let's talk about As Dusk Falls. As Dusk Falls is a narrative-based game with two groups of people kind of smashing together in an unplanned way.
I remember
You got one family that apparently
Vince's
is
daughter,
moving across the country.
Stephanie, I think
for
it
work
was,
purposes.
marrying Triple
And then
H.
you've got another family
I remember that
apparently is in
storyline.
terrible trouble, possibly with the mafia. It's not exactly
I remember
clear
the
what.
sledgehammer and
Because
the
of money
little, I
purposes,
think it
the family
was
decided to pull a
Triple
heist.
H.
Well, the heist went wrong,
Drama
and these two
segment.
families
I think it was
collide
against Vince or
on a
some
road.
shit.
and it basically forces them all to kind of meet up at a roadside hotel / diner. And what ensues is a hostage-taking heist, suspenseful drama style plot. You've kind of seen stuff like this before in movies. In fact, that's what I was telling you guys is when this game first started, it felt to me like you were playing a really interactive movie of something.
What the fuck is this nigger talking about?
In maybe the 80s or 90s.
Shut the fuck up here! Play the goddamn game!
Quite good. I mean, definitely the visual style is jarring, where it's kind of stop motion. You got one frame of animation, and then all of a sudden it jumps over to another still frame of animation. It's not full motion or anything like that, right? But after a while, you get so hooked on the story, it doesn't really matter that it looks like that anymore.
On the story. Hooked on the story.
Because I was hooked on the suspenseful story. If you like suspense, you're gonna love this game, because that's literally most of the game is you're wondering what's gonna happen next, who's gonna do what twist is gonna happen. And of course, it is a choose your own adventure style game, such as the Telltale games, where your choices directly affect who lives and dies, who acts in what way in what situation. Okay? But the thing that actually really got me, and I don't want to spoil the whole game, so I'm not going to, don't worry if you're going to.
I meant the game of addressing WWE champions on his goddamn phone.
If you keep playing it, you realize this game is not just about that situation.
That's the game I played.
Is flashing backwards to show the backstories of all the characters involved. This game is flashing forward to actually show the fallout.
Actually, pigs don't sweat.
Afterwards, as a result of the actions of the people involved. It's quite interesting.
Pigs don't sweat. That's why they roll around in the
But for me, kind of in a nutshell, I really liked the start. I liked it about halfway through, and then all of a sudden, I really feel like the writing did start to fall apart in kind of like that second half of the game, especially when
the water, the sweat evaporates off you, it cools.
I don't like the way it wrapped up. Let's put it that way. Like basically, the game seems to be kind of desperate to have loose ends get tied up by the end of the game. In a lot of cases, a lot of the explanations that they give for things don't make any sense at all. Like, for example, if you're on the run from the law and you leave the country, no one ever looks for you ever again? Ever? I'm not sure that's how it works. I'm pretty sure that eventually people would look for you, and then if you ever try to like fall back into normal society, people would probably find you.
The Nazis did just fine in Argentina.
That didn't really
You
make
fat
much sense
fuck
in the
faggot!
Picture scheme of things. Also, the whole, like I said, like the whole last portion of it didn't seem to make much sense or logical sense. It seemed like they wanted to have a way to wrap it up and have an epilogue for certain characters, but it didn't necessarily. It defied what common sense would have said would have happened in a lot of situations. Okay, so again, I'm not trying to spoil. I'm just saying this is what I didn't really like about it in the long run. Now, at the very end of the game literally has a twist in the last like minute of the game that's completely unexplained, and it's complete sequel bait. It's obvious what they were trying to do here is set up, if people really liked the game and it sold well, to have a sequel. Because you could, like, they left it so open-ended, they absolutely could have a sequel to this within like a year, I feel. And I don't know if I liked that, because it was kind of like, okay, everything's now resolved. Oops, look, here's something else that came out of left field that you never expected, and now there's a big twist. Like, oh shit. Okay. So anyway, in general and in summary, I enjoyed As Dusk Falls. I actually feel like the voice acting is quite good. I think that the drama is set up to be like, have you ever seen a TV show like 24 or Lost, where it's an ongoing drama and all of a sudden in the midst of the plot that you thought this was all it was going to be, all of a sudden,
You said this yesterday.
Twist, turn. There's all kinds of stuff, right, that's happening. And now what you thought was going to be this is now this and this and this and this, and it just keeps stretching out and extrapolating upon the original idea of what it was going to be, this big branching plot, right? However, I hate to say it, I do feel like when you're in a situation like this, it kind of feels like maybe they stretched too far and they tried to have it go too much out of the realm of originally what they were writing. And because of that, that's why you get those plot strings that don't necessarily make much sense or don't make logical sense. I mean, if you suspend your disbelief so much to believe that normal things that would actually happen don't happen, I mean, I guess that's fine. But for me, it's kind of like I'm scratching my head by the end of the game saying, I really don't understand what they're saying, like how this would happen or why they would get away with this or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'm talking to Ariel.
And quite frankly, no, I don't appreciate the sequel based on the last one of the game. I just don't. Like, would be one thing if there was a lot of
They
information.
probably wouldn't be right for video
games,
games,
but it's just kind of like, wow,
there's plenty of
last minute
writers.
twist, and now we wanted to basically
not like
hope
they're
for a sequel to get my answers, right?
hard saw.
Anyway, it's all right. Let me put it this way: it's all right. It's definitely a good Game
It's not
Pass.
like
Game.
there's
If you
a
have Game
writer's
Pass,
strike
it's free on
going on.
Game Pass. I strongly recommend you check it out if that's the case, especially if you like the narrative-based choose your own adventure style game. I think you're absolutely going to enjoy this game on Game Pass, and you're gonna have a good time with it. But I don't know if I would recommend it outright purchase for full price.
God damn it, Marlon.
Although I will say this, from what I'm to understand, alternate choices do make a huge impact on the story. Like there's tons of different characters who can live, die, or end up in different situations depending on your choices. However, I hate to say it, if you take a look at the actual, what do they call it, like a timeline or plot line, just like other choose your own adventure games, okay? If you look at the entirety of it from start to finish, they show that whole like, what do they call it? Flowchart. That's what I meant to say. If you look at the flowchart that they give you of the plot and the branching choices you can make, at the end, they all literally hit the same point anyway. So it doesn't matter if this person lives or dies, if this choice is made or that, the game ends exactly the same way with the same twist ending. That I don't like. Like, I feel like your choices should matter to the point where you can concretely affect the ending. I don't understand why with these games they don't understand that. Like, if I invest, 6-7 hours of my life into a narrative-based game and I'm making these choices, I want the choices to have concrete impact. I don't understand why they don't. It actually upsets me that you invest that amount of time and then they're like, oh well, everything you did didn't matter because the end anyway, right? But again, like I said, I think what they were doing was creating a sequel. Excuse me. They were trying to set it up so no matter what choices you made, oh, here's potential for a sequel to happen. You see? So it is what it is. I liked it, but I didn't love it. I thought I was actually going to like it more than I did. Because originally, like, the game starts off on such a high note with the plot, and then all of a sudden it kind of fizzles out halfway through. Okay? So that's As Dusk Falls. Now what I'd like to do is talk about the other big new release for the week. The one that I would like to say, actually, in my opinion, was better. And in my opinion, is one of the most original games I've played in a very long time. It's Stray. Okay, now we all knew about this game from all the different advertising, all the different marketing that it had over the last year. We actually seen Stray show up a couple different times during online digital events, explaining new games coming up and the like. And it stars a cat. I mean, how many games star cats, right? You got Bubsy, you got Stray. Can you name another besides maybe cats on like the Nintendo 3DS or whatever? Not very many, right? Not very many. So to actually have a game starring a cat is a rarity. And unlike other games, this game actually attempts to represent what a cat is really like in real life. It has so many different animations, behaviors, and things. If you have a cat as a pet, you probably observed these behaviors hundreds of times. And then to play a game where it really went out of its way to try to replicate the behaviors of a cat and the way that a cat really behaves in real life is actually like incredibly refreshing, in my opinion. Okay. So I just starting off playing this game, you're like, wow, this is quite neat. Then you start heading into the game, you realize the graphics. Now, I played it on PS5, and I should clarify that. The game is on PC, PS4, and PS5. I've actually heard on PC the game has issues. On PC, apparently, the game has this stuttering issue, which is a shame. It is hilarious because, again, I've been talking about this recently as we've been talking about me getting the new setup to stream and capture, and people were like, why aren't you getting a game on it? And every time I say that, I'm like, I don't buy into the whole PC master race thing. I'm sorry, but I'm of the belief that PC gaming is difficult. Because when you buy new games, half the time they don't work right on the PC. There's tweaks you need to do, there's issues that need to be patched, because every PC is different. Unlike designing a game exclusively for a console. When you have a PC, you could have a ton of different issues regarding the setup of the hardware. Every PC is different hardware. So how can you make a game that's going to perform well on every setup? You can't. And that's why you run into these issues. So here's a situation here where Stray is absolutely breathtakingly beautiful on PlayStation 5, and then you could have a high-end gaming rig that has way more power than a PS5, and the game stutters constantly. I think that kind of is making my point for me. You see? Okay. So, point that I'm going to make here is that on PS5, okay, the game runs beautifully. Smooth 60 frames per second, gorgeous 1080p visuals. I would argue this is some of the best lighting that I've ever seen. All right, in a game. I don't think I've seen this level of lighting. And I know that's crazy because you're like, oh god, but you put all these AAA games, you should just play Horizon Forbidden West. Fair enough. I would say the lighting of this game is on par with Horizon Forbidden West. It's that good. I'm not saying that the game went nuts with what it did in its breath or anything. It's an indie game, but for what it did, it polished it really, really well. It looks gorgeous. Okay. The game spans a bunch of different locations. You start off as a cat that's with a group of other stray cats, and then you get separated. Next thing you know, you get pulled into this plot line where apparently you're in a post-apocalyptic world where the humans have disappeared. You don't know what happened to them. So you're teaming up with a little drone that basically is programmed to have knowledge of what's going on around you, and you're basically trying to figure out the mystery of what happened to the humans. Why are you trapped inside of this dome? Is there an outside world? Is the outside world safe? Why are there robots everywhere rather than humans? Like, why were the robots left behind? And the plot just gets more and more complex the further you get into the game. You start off just kind of wandering around these abandoned city areas and underground sewers. Next thing you know, you're in a robust and beautiful town with all these unique robots that all have their own personalities and backstories. You start solving puzzles, and the game really is unique because even though there's exploration, There's some platforming and action. There's a lot of puzzle solving and dialogue as well. It really combines a lot of different genres together. And I can tell you that I've ever played a game before that feels exactly like Stray. The game doesn't actually have any action-based platforming. It's all button prompts to jump on things in the environment. But that doesn't mean that the game isn't challenging. It is. You have to know where to jump in what order. You have to avoid enemies coming after you. You have to figure out how to solve puzzles to traverse from point A to point B. It's actually quite interesting in that regard. That even though there's no timed jumps and no, how can I say, necessarily, you need to stick the landing or you fall and die, right? There's none of that. It's not a platformer. It's not Super Mario Brothers. But at the same time, it's still engaging and fun and interesting, and it feels unique. It absolutely does. And I loved the gameplay of this game, the different things that it has you do. At some points, it's going to feel like you're playing The Secret of Monkey Island. You're going around a town and it has all these townspeople. One person will have a certain solution to one puzzle. One person has an item that you have no idea what the relation of that item is to anything else in the city. But through a series of exploration, dialogue, bartering, between all of this, you're basically gonna see situations where things you never even knew existed in the game end up being really interesting plot lines, and then tie into something else. At one point, I was like, I found this energy drink. What do I do with it? You have to trade it in to get a power cable. What do I do with that power cable? You give it to this woman who makes clothes. What do I do with these clothes? You give it to this guy who's a tech guy who fixes things. Well, why do you need that? Because later on, you're going to get a broken transceiver for the plot, and he's the one who fixes it for you so you can advance the plot. On face value, that sounds complicated, but if you actually take your time to explore the game and talk to everyone around you, you'll actually find that this is interesting and exciting and vibrant, and the world feels real and organic, which is awesome to have a game like that in 2022. It doesn't feel fake or forced. The dialogue is interesting, and the plot, as it unfolds, as you explore in the world, is engaging. It's an ongoing air of mystery until the very end of the game. And here's the thing. A lot of people have really I feel, unfairly treated this game because they say it's too short. First of all, it's only 4 hours long. That is completely false. Stray is 4 hours long if you literally have the solutions to the puzzles ahead of time, rush through the game, going from point A to point B to grab the solutions of the puzzles as fast as you possibly can, and turbo right through. Turbo right through all that stuff, skipping all of the plot and all of the content, all the stuff that explains everything going on in the world. If you literally do your best to skip it all, you can probably beat the game in 4 hours. But that's bullshit. If you're actually engaging in the content, taking your time, talking with the townspeople, looking for the hidden memories that explain the backstory of what happened to the humans, and doing all this stuff, the game is far more engaging. Excuse me. It's just far more interesting. And that's how the game is meant to be played. It's not supposed to be, I rushed through it for some kind of online prominence to say, well, my e-nick is so big because I was able to beat this game in 2 hours. In fact, there is a trophy to beat the game in 2 hours. If you rush through it and you skip all the content of the game, you get a trophy. But that's supposed to be like maybe your second or third run when you're attempting to platinum the game. That's not supposed to be, this is my first attempt at the game and I skip all the content. Like, what are you doing? Why do people in 2022, why are people to try to talk shit about every game? I really need to know this now. Like, why? This is a game that is unique. How often have you ever played a game where a cat is the featured character? A game that is a combination of different gameplay styles. There's open world exploration. There's puzzles. There's dialogue and lore. There's guided platforming, but there's also some action-based combat, survival. There's the lighting is gorgeous. Some of the best graphics I've seen in games in the last few years, made by an indie studio. Let's try to rush through the game and crap on it and say it's like 3 hours long, so everyone will just say, the game sucks and skip it. Why? Why did people do this? It drives me nuts that this is how people treat games these days, because this game, to me, Stray is a diamond in the rough. It is a rare game where, unlike everything else that we've played in the last several years, you take a look at any game, it fits into essentially a mold of some sort, right? Let's take a look at some of the biggest games that we've played in the last few months. Elden Ring, which is the game that everyone says so far is the front runner for Game of the Year. Okay, did it innovate? In a few ways it did. It had a horse and it had some open world traversal that style of game has never had before. At the very same time, most of the gameplay elements of Elden Ring we've already seen in previous FromSoft games. Can you argue that the game was so original and different from previous games you played in the franchise? No, what it really felt like was they took all the best parts and slammed it together into one coherent whole. And yes, it's the longest FromSoft game ever, but did it really do much to break the mold or innovate or do anything that you felt like you never did before? I can't honestly say it did. It felt like I was playing the epitome of a FromSoft game, but I don't feel like there was anything really new. Like I said, how many times during my Elden Ring playthrough did I say it's Dark Souls 4? Because it literally is Dark Souls 4. Okay? It's not an original game. It's the next logical progression of that series.
Because he's
There's nothing
stalling
wrong with
because
that.
he lied. He got caught in a
trying
big
to
lie
make.
yesterday.
Okay?
And he doesn't want to talk about the lies.
Take a look
so
at
let's
Horizon
talk
Forbidden
about
West.
random stuff.
Okay? Already when the original Horizon Zero Dawn came out years ago, I said it felt like it was a mishmash of other franchises into a coherent whole to be its own entity. But I even said back then it didn't feel like it innovated in any way. Open world, great graphics, right? Great story, good gameplay elements, all that's good. But if you've played other games around it, you've already done the open world exploration, you've already done the base take, you've already done this kind of traversal in games like Tomb Raider, etc. You've already seen it. If anything, the only original thing about Horizon was that the enemies were robots. Outside of that, like all that gameplay element you've done in other games, right? Horizon Forbidden West further extrapolates upon that formula. It does add in some more things, absolutely. But at the same time, it feels like it's a formula that's been followed again and again and again and again, right? Does it feel unique in any way? Not really. I mean, hell, we can even compare it directly to As Dusk Falls. As Dusk Falls feels like a standard choose-your-own-adventure game. The visual style is a little unique. Outside of that, does it do anything innovative? Not really. It's all about the plot. If you like the plot, you'll love the game. If you don't like the plot, you probably won't love the game. Right? Okay, then. So that gives you the point I'm making here. All these games that we're playing all fit into a mold. Can you say that Stray fits into any mold? Sure, it does take a few elements from different things. Sure, it does. But it absolutely feels unique. It absolutely feels like, wow, I'm playing something new and fresh and different that I've never experienced in a video game before. And I feel we need more experiences like that. We need to have more games that are unique, that when you finish the game, not only do you feel kind of bittersweet, you're like, wow, I'm glad I beat it, but man, I'm sad that it's over because it was so original. And that's kind of what happened to me yesterday. So yesterday I beat the game. And just for clarification purposes, my playthrough took just under around 7 hours. And again, I took my time. I did 100% all the collectibles in the game, except for the badges. There's these badges you can find that you put on your cat's harness, that they're just for visual purposes. Outside of that, I got all the logs and all the story of the game unlocked. So I did most of the optional content of the game. It took me just under 7 hours, okay? When I beat that game, not only is the ending so good, the ending is like exactly what I wanted to happen in the end of the game. It was. I don't want to spoil it for anyone. I want you to obviously either enjoy the game for yourselves or watch my playthrough or both. But for me, I beat the game. I found myself starting to tear up on stream. And people were actually like wondering why I was tearing up. And I was trying to explain to people, I'm not tearing up because I'm sad. I'm tearing up because I actually had such a good time with the game that I was having all these mixed emotions that it was over. Like, number one, I was sad that it was over, for sure. But I was also like, how often do we get a completely unique gameplay experience like this? And I basically am like, I'm in a situation here where I'm wondering, when's the next time, as a full-time gamer, because I am, this is my job, is to cover video games. Although let's be honest, I do diversify my content now. We've got React content, Marathon, all kinds of other stuff. A lot of my content that I put out is gameplay stream, right? And I look at everything going on for the rest of this year, and I look at everything that's on the schedules and release and everything, and it all just kind of fits into a mold. It does. And I look at Stray, and I'm like, you know, this really does, to me, feel like maybe this is a rarity where I'm going to feel this way. Like, this game will resonate. And what I mean by that is moving forward for the rest of this year, no matter what I play, all right, I'm going to think back to Stray and say, wow, I remember that game. It was so unique. It was so different. The graphics were so good. You know what I mean? And the thing is, the game does, the protagonist literally doesn't have a line of spoken dialogue, and the indie devs were able to pull this off. And I should emphasize this. The indie devs, this was not a game made by a giant studio with an insanely huge budget. This was an indie studio that pulled this off, okay? And that should be not only applauded, but well respected. It doesn't even matter to me if Stray wins a single award at the Game Awards, or if it's anyone's picks for top 10 games of the year. For me, all I have to say is, like, I'm so happy I played it.
Top lit really never
I'm absolutely
I don't know how you
delighted
can
that the
say
studio
like
went as far as they went to make this game original and different from. They could have easily followed a bunch of. They could have made it an action platformer with cheap, stupid deaths falling through platforms and they didn't go that route. They dared to do something different, and they succeeded, in my opinion. And the thing is, I know people already disagree with me. I get that. First of all, I totally feel like, because I have a cat, that this game resonates with me more than someone who doesn't have a cat. If you don't have a cat and you don't understand how realistic those animations were, how close to real life behavior of a real cat that was in the game, right? It's not just about, oh, it's so cute. It's about, oh, that's actually stuff that my cat really does. That's how my cat really moves. That's how my cat really behaves. That's exactly how these cats are in real life. And they replicated that through painstaking detail and probably a ton of research and trying to figure out what would work and what would work in the game. You see?
I'm an imposter.
I can totally understand if you don't have a cat as a pet, or if you don't like cats, why the holy hell you would probably say, this ain't such a big deal. I get that. And that's a fair assessment. All right. But for me, as someone who has a cat, who's someone who has had, essentially my life has changed since Jasper came into my life, because I never had a pet like that before. I've had smaller pets, for example, hamsters, things like that.
Hamsters, Leanna! He brought up Leanna!
It's basically a companion, one that walks through the house with you, spends significant time with you, wants to have meaningful moments. You know what I'm saying? And so Jasper did, in a way, change my life for the very positive. And then to see that kind of behaviors being replicated in a video game, that's someone who you can tell has a personal connection with that kind of a pet relationship. And that's nice to see that. I've never seen anything like that in a game before, okay? Now, in addition to that, again, the indie studio pulling off graphics this good, a game this smooth, like, out of the entirety of the time that I played the game, there was one moment when my immersion was broken. And it was when my cat glitched and got stuck on a rooftop in the first open world exploration city. I guess it had landed perfectly between two things and got stuck and couldn't move. And I was like, And if anything, the one major criticism I can give the game, because it does deserve to have some criticism, I don't want to be all overly positive because I have a cat. The game absolutely should have had a manual save system, or at least it should have had a system by which you can choose when you want to save the game. What I mean by that is, there are some frustrating parts where you'll be, say, in an exploration mode. You're in a city or you're in a town and you're trying to solve puzzles and figure out lore. And I found a hidden memory over here. I found an item here and I did this. But if you don't hit a set checkpoint, the game won't save. And so what ended up happening to me was that I got that bug happening and I got stuck and I had to reload my game and I lost like 20 minutes of progress. And that's frustrating. I don't want to lose any progress. It's 2022 and the game should have the same system, whether you or there's maybe a certain area you go to, something you touch, and it annually saves the game, so you can avoid issues like that. I want to be able to end when I want to end and not have to find. I mean, one day I hit a big city. I'm like, wow, this is a really nice city. It's vibrant, but I'm out of time. I have like 5 minutes left. I had to run through the city to find the plot point to advance the plot to hit a checkpoint. And I kind of rushed through where I wanted to explore to get to that point. That's not good. Now, I was able to go back and explore after, but that's definitely a huge problem. They absolutely should have implemented a better save system. And that bug, obviously, where I got stuck on the rooftop, that was frustrating. But, I mean, outside of those two things, there's very little critical I have to say about the game. It just resonates with me. And again, if anything, when the end of this year comes, and I'm starting to look at the best games of 2022. All right, there's a lot of factors I look at, and yes, one of the factors is length of a game. One of the factors is their replayability. I would argue there's no replayability in Stray. Because once you beat it once, you know everything, and then you're probably just ready to speed run it to get a trophy. But there's really no replayability at all after that first playthrough. Okay? But I also factor other things like graphics. Was the gameplay fun? What, how was the plot? All these things. And one thing I'm absolutely going to say is that by the time that I get to the end of the year, I'm going to look at what was unique. Stray was unique. I've never played a game like that before. I don't know if I'll ever play a game like that again. How many other games will I be able to say that for this year? I don't even know if I'll be able to say it for one, because so far, I don't think I have. Like, most games this year have fit into this mold, this cookie cutter mold. Oh, it's this genre of game. It's this genre of game. It's this. There's some variations. Maybe it's best in class or not so good, but it's still that type. This game, I don't even know how to classify it. I can't. It was unique. And that's what I liked about it the most, I think, is that I really felt like I was going to have something of a unique experience. That's why I was crying at the end of the game, man. And people are you sad? I mean, I'm sad it's over. I wish it was longer. I wish that this studio had more money, a bigger budget. They were able to make this a 20-hour game. Seriously, with tons more plot and everything. I would have loved that. I would have played the hell out of it. I would have loved every moment of it. And I'm sad that I was very sad that we were in a situation where it was over, and I didn't really know if we were going to see another game like that again anytime soon. You know what I'm saying?
Are you an imposter?
No, I just want to play.
And again, you can disagree with me if you want, and that's perfectly fine. You are absolutely free to disagree with me, and I get it. Okay? Maybe it doesn't resonate with you. You don't have a cat. I get that.
I'm brown.
Anyway, so the game is 7 hours long. It's one of my favorite games of the year by far. It is on PlayStation Plus. So how I said As Dusk Falls is on Game Pass. If you have the Game Pass subscription, you get it for free. Well, Stray is on the PS Plus program. I think it varies by country. Like, I have PS Plus Premium, but I think you can even get it if you have PS Plus Deluxe. I don't think you get it with the standard PS Plus, which is the cheapest one. I think you have to get like the mid-tier subscription to get it. But it's kind of a no-brainer that if you have the service, you should at least try the game out. And you might end up hating it. You might say, I just don't like it. It's fine, but at least give it a shot. I feel like if it doesn't latch onto you, and if it gets its hooks into you like it did to me, you might end up having one of the more unique gameplay experiences of the last several years. And I really loved it. And again, I do feel sad that it's over, and now we kind of got to get back to business as usual, the same shit we've played all year. You know what I mean? At the very least, we're doing retro stuff for the rest of the summer, which is nice to get kind of a blast from the past feeling. Playing games like Fable and Final Fantasy VII and stuff. It's neat because it's stuff that I like, and so that we've either done together or it's our first time doing it. But I know that it's enjoyable and we're having a good time having fun interactive streams with it. But at the same time, when the new releases come out, and you're like, man, I don't know, it might feel very underwhelming. I guess we're gonna have to see how the rest of the year goes. Okay. All right. So there you go, guys. Let us now move on. So we're talking about the two new releases which are now done. And now let's talk about, now that those new releases are over, what we're going to be doing moving forward this week. Fair enough? Okay. All right. See this thing. People are disagreeing with me in the chat, and that's okay. You have to understand that's fine. I know not everyone's going to feel the same as me. Some people completely crapped on this game. Some people completely agree with me, and some people are somewhere in the middle and say it's good, but it's not as good as still saying. I get it. I hear you. Everyone has a different opinion. That's fine, but I'm going to have mine. All right? I will respect that. I'll respect yours too. Fair enough. Okay, so let's talk about this coming week because we still have 4 more streaming days, including today. All right, we're not even halfway through my streaming week, if you can believe it. Okay. Today, on the first stream, we are returning to Fable Anniversary. For some of you, might be like, damn, returning to Fable Anniversary, like when the hell did we even last play it? Right? You're right. Last time we played it was about a week ago, and if you remember, we had arrived at the arena, and I completed some of the plot of the arena, but then I ran out of time. I didn't have enough time to finish the arena plot line. So we kind of have to redo it today. We have to kind of restart it and try to get through the whole arena again. And by the way, I'm not too worried about that. I think it'll be fine. I don't remember where the game goes from here at all. Like, I don't remember what the next part of the game is. I also don't know how much is left in the game of Fable Anniversary. I'm trying to remember, like, damn, it took 8 years ago. I really don't remember that much
If
about
you go
the game.
on Ghost, you can
So-
actually talk to people.
We're jumping right back in, feet first, head first, whatever you want to say. Trying to make progress today. As you know, Fable is a chill, interactive stream. Looking forward to relaxing with all of you, have a fun conversation, everything as we play the game. And for those who've been helping out during the playthrough, I really appreciate it. I don't know if anyone is around today. It's been a week now. I know there's been a few key people who've been here to help me with elements of the game. I hope that you'll keep doing that because I haven't played it in 8 years. A lot of stuff I wasn't remembering. Okay. So that's the first stream today. Let's see how far we can get in it. And then on the late stream tonight, we're doing more multiverses. Now, I don't want to talk too much at length about this because I just played it last night, but multiverses seems pretty fun. For those who play Smash Brothers, it's in this exact same vein as Smash, although I would say it actually feels more primitive than modern Smash. Modern Smash Brothers, there's all these different items and things you can use in the combat. There's all these variations on stages. There's ultimate Smash attacks that you charge up. You get a big screen, like a big super move that, has potential to do multiple eliminations or tons of damage, right? So, hold on. So with that being said, I like it. At the same time, it doesn't feel as refined as modern Smash, and I don't know what they're really going for. Like I felt like when they made this game, they were trying to make it be like the new Smash. Smash Brothers, for those who don't know, the last one, what was it, Smash Brothers Ultimate or whatever it was called, ended a while ago. There's no new content for it. What it is how it will be forever. There's no more seasons released or anything like that. So I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to find a new game to take up the mantle of this kind of party style combat. But it seems maybe a little bit too simplistic for me to do that. Not to say that I don't like it, I am enjoying it, but when basically you don't have all the abilities that was already in Smash Brothers, there's really nothing. I mean, honestly, I'm looking at it, I'm like, what's different or innovative of this game besides Smash Brothers? I'm like, actually, there really isn't anything. I don't think. It seems to me like it's just incredibly similar to older Smash, and maybe that's what they're going for. Maybe they're trying to appeal to the hardcore Smash crowd from many years ago. And they feel that the new elements that were added to Smash over the last decade were just, like, it made it not as good or something. I don't know. Maybe they're going for a purist feeling. But it just doesn't feel like it's as good as modern Smash. And maybe I'm mistaken there. Again, I don't play modern Smash competitively. Someone who's good at modern Smash competitively would probably have a much better take on this, okay? As for the characters available at launch, there's not that many. I think there was Shaggy, Jake, from Adventure Time, Taz, the Tasmanian Devil from Looney Tunes, Wonder Woman, and Harley Quinn. Am I missing one? I might be missing one, but I think there were 5 characters available at launch, and then you unlock other characters either by playing the game enough to have in-game currency to buy them one by one, which could take some time, or you can just drop money on the game, because the game is free to play, right? You can drop money on the game, and you can drop money on the game with a Founders Pack. You basically unlock like all the characters at launch right away. And then when you play the game, rather than earning the in-game currency, I guess what's happening is you earn the Season Pass currency, and the Season Pass currency is actually what you use to unlock outfits for the characters and other customizables in the game, like a new avatar, or I guess there's also perks that you can unlock for each character by playing the game longer. So there's definitely a progression in the game, which is a good thing. You want to have progression in your game. You don't want to have it just be like stagnant and you're just playing online for the sake of playing online. I think every fighting game is going this way, where the more you play, you're doing things like unlocking and stuff. At the same time, I think a lot of people are going to kind of be off-put a bit because it's free to play. And how often do you get a free-to-play fighting game like this, but you only have a very limited cast, and then you basically have to play the shit out of the game to earn the characters for free? What's funny about this is Street Fighter V claimed they were going to use this model, okay? And then basically it was abandoned entirely. Not to say that there weren't people who used it, but when you got Street Fighter V, you paid for the game at first, and you got the whole original cast. What they claimed was going to happen was that you were going to be able to play the game enough to earn the in-game currency and unlock all the DLC characters for free if you played it enough. What people very quickly found out was that it took so long to earn enough in-game currency for a character that you would have to play it an insane amount, and it just wasn't worth it. It was just on the time investment alone, it was worth it to buy the character.
I'll
they
make a
say
pizza.
$2 per character as opposed to spending countless hours, hundreds of hours grinding to get the currency needed to unlock that character for free.
Yeah.
So that was the funny part about it, was technically, was Capcom telling the truth? Yes, but it was kind of a lie. At the same time, it just wasn't feasible to do it. With Multiverses, I played last night for 2 hours. By the end of the night, I had enough currency to unlock the character.
You're a
Now,
imposter, Julia.
is that going to happen every night I play it? I don't know. We're going to find out, so I'm actually playing it again tonight. And what I'd like to do first thing tonight is unlock a character and try the new character and see how they play, and then go for variety. By the way, I like how the game has different modes. You got your free-for-all mode where it's 4 players all each trying to get the most eliminations in a set period of time while the board is shrinking. You've got 2v2 mode, which seems like it may end up being one of the more focused modes. Teams of 2 facing off against each other, and what I've noticed, especially with a character like Wonder Woman, there's characters that have team buffs. Like Wonder Woman has the ability to buff the team that each character either absorbs the hit or has reduced damage. I wasn't necessarily able to figure it out last night, but there's definitely these team abilities that are unique that I haven't really seen in a game like this before. So the team element may actually be a huge factor in it. And then, of course, we've got 1v1. Now, the problem is with 1v1, this is where the game kind of gets exposed. I played 1v1 for 2 or 3 matches, and every match was laggy as shit. The characters were teleporting all over the screen. They were passing through each other, and the only way to actually hit someone was to mash buttons. Like, you couldn't time attack, because every time you tried to time it, right, you would end up passing through each other, or it looks like it's going to connect, and then all of a sudden you teleport over here. Oh, that's where you really were. Huh? So, it basically, the netcode was kind of exposed by the 1v1 matches. When you're doing the team matches and the free-for-all, because of the chaotic nature of the game, having more players,
Yeah, it's probably the
kind
ice
of
from the
leveled out a little
pizza.
bit, I would argue. I'm not saying that the netcode is any better, but maybe with that many people on the screen, maybe it's not as big of an issue. One thing I do like about the game is it's cross-platform from launch. Here on the beta, it's cross-platform. I'm playing people against Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. That's nice. It means that you're always going to have active competition. Take a look at this compared to, say, the Capcom Fighting Collection that I'm currently playing, where it's only platform specific, and it's very hard to find ongoing competition if someone's not playing at a particular time of day or on a certain day of the week. This is cross-platform. You get people at all times, which is really good, okay? So I'm looking forward to Multiverses again tonight. Like I said, first thing I'm doing tonight, I'm going to try to unlock a new character and see how they play, and go for it. Maybe by the end of tonight, I'll have enough currency to unlock another character, right? Now, by the end of tonight, there's a couple things that I want to determine. First of all right, did I enjoy it? You know, and is this something that I'm interested in? And number 2, is this something you guys enjoy? Would you like to see me play more Multiverses? Because this game actually goes open beta on the 26th. So today's the 24th. So in 2 days, if you guys don't have access to it yet, because there's various different ways you can get access. They sent out initial codes to certain people who registered. There are people who watched other streamers, and those streamers gave out codes. It was all these complex ways, okay? All these complex ways to do this. And I got a code from a viewer. A viewer had a code. They said, I'd like to give it to you so you can play it. And I really appreciate that. It was exciting last night when I played it. I had a good time with it, okay? But we want to see me play it more this week. There's going to be more players playing it later on this week when it goes open on the 26th. I would not be opposed to playing this 1 or 2 times a week as a night stream, attempting to unlock more content in the game, more characters and stuff. That would be exciting to me, okay? But it's up to you. And again, I don't know, maybe tonight my attitude will change. Obviously, if the connections get worse and worse, I'm not going to want to play it anymore. So I guess we have to see what happens. But I hope you'll join me tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, for a second dose of Multiverses, and we'll see, you know, how it plays tonight, especially with a new character unlocked. Okay, cool. All right, now tomorrow, Monday, is the return of Final Fantasy VII. I believe, if I'm trying to remember correctly where we left off, didn't we wrap up all the optional content and now we're about to head on to the Temple of the Ancients? I think that's what it is, and the Temple of the Ancients is a key pivotal point in the plot that gets you into basically like the next segment of the game. So I think we kind of did the odds and ends that we wanted to do. I mean, yeah, I obviously could have grinded more and did more, but I think we're in a situation where I want to advance with the story at this point. So that's tomorrow's main gameplay stream. I'm excited for that. As you guys know, the Final Fantasy VII playthrough has been absolutely fun as hell because I am experiencing this game again for the first time in 20 years I'm getting a modern perspective on it that I didn't have 20 years ago, and having an interactive audience and having you guys help me out knowing things about the game. Like, for example, I didn't know you could get all of those enemy skill abilities before as part of the game. I was under the impression that you have to grind later on in the game to unlock all those enemy skills, but you guys were like, nah, you go to do parts of the map, you can find them, and they actually help out in the game. Like, oh, that's interesting, right? So that's what I mean. Like, you guys helping me out, and also people have been basically trying to explain parts of the plot that maybe were a little bit more confusing to me, and that's good because the plot I felt was one of the weakest points of the game. So I love it, and I hope that you guys are enjoying it as well. I hope that you'll come back tomorrow tomorrow night on the late stream. I believe we're going to be doing a new thing that's completely unique. Okay, so it was announced in this last week, okay, that there would be a new slew of games added to Nintendo Switch Online. Now, typically when this happens, it's not that big of a deal. It's not something that I'm too interested in. In this case, we have a unique situation. There's a game called Fighter's History. All right, this is a fighting game that came out in the 1990s. This was during the height of the fighting game craze. Okay. Excuse me. And at the height of the fighting game craze, every company was desperate to release a fighting game similar to Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat because they wanted to cash in. There was a company called Data East. They tried to make a fighting game similar to Street Fighter 2 with a cast of characters from all around the world, each representing a certain culture or country, each having a unique fighting style like Kung Fu or boxing or stuff like that. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? It sounds just like Street Fighter 2 because it really was the exact same deal as Street Fighter 2, only maybe a little bit too much. Capcom actually felt that Data East had completely infringed on their idea for a game and actually tried to sue Data East. Well, it went to court and Capcom lost. They said, well, technically, yes, it's the same idea, but you can't necessarily trademark or copy a general idea. If they had actually had characters that were direct copies of yours, then maybe you could have made an argument, but they're definitely not. The characters are different. The fighting styles are different. And so they basically kind of got away with stealing the idea of Street Fighter 2 and making their own version. Now, the funny part about it is Fighter's History is a laughably bad game. The game's gameplay is nowhere near as good as Street Fighter 2. It's not a very well-balanced game at all. The characters are so ridiculously stereotypical of each country. You've got a guy from France, okay, who throws roses and says Yamato Rose when he throws it like it's a projectile. Because the French are all about romance and roses, so he throws roses as projectiles in a fighting game. Like, what? And you got characters who say like things that are so ridiculous. I don't want to kind of spoil. I actually did spoil a little bit yesterday, and I kind of regret that I did. That's going to be one of the funniest things that I've played this game. But essentially, the game is so bad, it's good. And what I mean by that is, did you ever see the Street Fighter movie from the 1990s starring Jean-Claude Van Damme? The movie is an atrocity. It's really bad. But it's so bad, it's fucking hilarious, and you watch it and you laugh your ass off. It's entertaining. That's kind of how I think Fighter's History is like the Street Fighter movie of fighting games of the 90s. It's meant to be a ripoff of Street Fighter that's done so poorly, you can't stop laughing at how stupid it is. So I would like to check that out tomorrow night on the late stream for kind of a one-off fun thing. Will it be anything serious? Absolutely not. I'm not taking this seriously in any way. It's just us dicking around with Fighter's History on the Super Nintendo and having a fun night stream for once, just something different, okay? So I hope you guys will join me for that tomorrow. It should be a fun time, something different on the late stream, all right? Then on Tuesday, we're starting up a new game playthrough, okay? The playthrough is Batman Arkham Asylum Remastered, all right? What is it? Well, it's a remaster of a game that was actually one of the earliest full playthroughs that I did back in the day for YouTube. I actually remember back in the day when I was still at my office job, but I was so excited to play Batman Arkham Asylum when it was coming out that I took time off of work. I took 2 days off of work to stay home during that week and play the game. That's how excited I was for it. It was such a rarity that a game got me that pumped at that time. And knowing that I was a YouTuber and people wanted to see me do a playthrough of the game right away, I was very excited. It was actually one of the playthroughs that I was one of the first people to cover the game and do a full playthrough like that as quickly as I did. People absolutely loved it. Now, over the years, of course, it became a franchise, right? And I've replayed Batman Arkham City a few years ago, the remastered edition. Batman Arkham Knight, I like the game, but I definitely feel like the game has so much Batmobile in it that it kind of loses its identity as a Batman game. Still like it though. But Arkham Asylum is the one that started it all. Okay, and later this year we're going to be playing Gotham Knight, which is kind of a game that follows in the vein of this franchise, not a direct continuation, but something that's similar. So I feel like this is a good opportunity to maybe play the game that started the whole thing, many, many years ago. By the way, Batman Arkham Asylum is the game that the members of this channel nominated and voted for to be the viewer's choice playthrough for the summer. So we played Final Fantasy VII, we played Fable. Now we're going to do the game that the members wanted. Okay? So that's actually going to start up on Tuesday, and I'm excited for that. All right? And then Tuesday night, we're going to do Fable as a late stream. I know you're saying, wait a minute, Fable's a late stream. I thought it was a daytime stream. Well, the thing is now we're going to have multiple games to be playing during the daytime. Some games are going to have to be played at night. All right? And so that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Fable as a night stream every once in a while. Maybe a daytime stream every once in a while, but for now it's going to be a night stream on Tuesday. Then Wednesday is my final streaming day of the week. And this is the day where you guys have some input. All right? So depending on what happens over the week, I'm either going to play more Final Fantasy VII or more Batman Arkham Asylum Remastered as the main stream on Wednesday. And then depending, again, on what happens over the week and what you guys want, I'm either going to do a session of Multiverses or Fable as the late stream on Wednesday. So two different games, or two different streams, I should say, excuse me, where you guys will kind of have some input. Let me know over the course of the week. Would you prefer more Batman or more Final Fantasy? Would you prefer an extra helping of Multiverses in the middle of the week? Or would you want more Fable? Like, I'd love to hear your feedback. And definitely as I play during the course of the week, I'll make the decision as well if I feel like. So sometimes I say, oh, this makes more sense. But obviously I need your feedback as well. Okay? So that is the streaming week. I'm off on Thursday. Now, keep in mind a few special things going on. All right?
So why were you voting for me?
First of all, we hit
Because
our members goal for the month of July relatively early on. Okay. Okay. Relatively early on. And when we hit that, here's what happened. We unlocked a special event. What's in DSP's closet? A fun marathon where for the entire day, we're going to be basically going through my closet. And you know what? I was actually thinking about this yesterday. There's other things too. Like, for example, I have an ottoman over here that has old school joysticks that likely are no good anymore. We can look at those and maybe end up getting rid of a few of those. And then there's some bins over there as well that have older games and peripherals and things in them that probably I need to figure out. But anyway, this is going to be a special marathon event on Saturday, July 30th, where during the course of the day, we're going to relax and chill. And we're going to go through all the stuff here in the office and essentially figure out three things. Number one, is it something that I can use for my current setup? Is it something that maybe we can add to the background? Is it a piece of equipment that we can use or a game that, oh, maybe we would like to play this as a future playthrough? That's the first option. Option number two, is this something that actually has some kind of monetary value that maybe I could take it to like a GameStop or somewhere and trade it in and get some value? I am not selling anything online. I will reiterate, I am not selling anything online. I will reiterate, I am not selling anything online. I know I have to repeat myself a million times. I hate that I have to. But especially yesterday with Snow Carl asking 400 times, I am not selling anything online. All right? I have to avoid, any kind of bullshit on the internet. And as I've told you guys, because of all the trolling and the bullshit that happens to me on a daily basis, I know that people, if I tried to sell anything online, would try to find, oh, that must be Darkside Phil's account. Let's hit him with a ton of fake bids on eBay. Let's flag that auction or that posting with a bunch of false bullshit to troll him. It's not worth it. So there's absolutely, positively no way that I'm selling any of this shit online. It's going to be a situation where, hey, can I actually get some credit somewhere at a physical store, like I said, like GameStop or something like that? Or the third option here would be throw stuff out. Because I'll be honest with you, there's a shitload of stuff in there to throw out. There's stuff all over my house to throw out. I know this. I have not actually cleaned this office fully. What I mean is, did I clean the carpets? Yes. Did I clean the dust? Yes. Did I rearrange a few times? Yes. But I've actually not deep cleaned the closet out, this stuff out in here since I moved here. in 2014. It's been 8 years, and I never went through all of my shit. Okay?
I know, it's
Okay,
sausage,
so-
like- I don't care.
That being said, this will be very interesting, to say the
You
least.
gotta throw
Okay?
that white. You gotta throw that white. White's gonna kill us
So,
all.
I don't know what we're going to find. We might find cool collectibles. We might find games that you guys want me to play, right? We might find a ton of shit. We might find absolutely nothing. I don't know what we're going to find. We're going to find out live together, all right? And that's part of the, I think, the interest of this event. Also, I am going to be doing a live episode of Feasting with the King. And what we'll do is we'll start to talk about that later on in the week, probably right before I go on break, because you guys will be voting for the cuisine for Feasting with the King when I come back from break on Friday. So basically, you'll have all day Friday to vote, and that'll determine what we order on Saturday. Okay? Okay. So that's this Saturday's fun event. I hope you guys will join me for that. Now, we do have one other possibility for an event as a reward in this month. However, we haven't qualified for it yet. Okay, when we hit the tier 1 members goal for the month, people said, Phil, make a tier 2 members goal because now you have the rest of the month and we want something to work towards. Okay, so I did. Well, I hope I could point towards it. I made a tier 2 members goal of 585 members. Okay, we actually got pretty close. I think at one point we were at like 557. So we were less than 30 away. Like, wow, we're getting really close. Then what ended up happening was a lot of memberships expired or lapsed that were gifted, and so we dropped all the way down to like 510. And I do want to give a special shout out. AJ was here yesterday, and AJ gifted like 30 or 40 memberships. And because of that, it jumped us all the way back up to 544. Okay? So now we actually have a possibility that in the next week we could actually hit this, right? So if we hit 585 concurrent memberships by the end of this month, there's basically 1 week left to do so. We are locking in to the next React event. As you know, in the last several months, I've started doing React events to various different topics. This time around, after having done React events to gameplay stuff and then doing a React event to the Rob Gavin YouTube channel, we're now in a situation where people are like, can you do a little bit more dramatic stuff again? We like that. I mean, fair enough. At this point, it's been a break since I did it. So the options are as follows. Option number 1, I react to the original This Is How You Don't Play video from over a decade ago. I believe it's from Metal Gear Solid 2. I believe it's quite lengthy, so it'll probably take you a while to get through it. I'm actually curious what's in it because I've only ever seen excerpts of it. No exaggeration, I've never watched the whole video. I've only seen a piece here, a piece there, and I've never actually watched it in its entirety. Okay, so there you have it. That could be exciting. But also, I have obtained permission from various different YouTube channels to react to their content. And 2 channels that I have permission on. One will be the Frederick Knudsen channel, where I can react to any of his Down the Rabbit Hole videos, documentaries. He's got many on there of different kinds of content creators and other people on the internet who are well known, and people have expressed interest in me maybe reacting to one of those again. Or there's another person who does documentaries on YouTube called June the King. He actually did a follow-up documentary on Wings of Redemption after the end of the first one that we watched months ago, but other stuff as well is on that channel. All right, so there's all these different things that are possible. All right. There's all these different things that are possible, and I don't know what you guys would like to see most. I'm down for any of those. They all sound kind of interesting, but to lock into that event, we got to hit the members goal for the month, and there's only 1 week left. So if you're not a member yet, consider it. All these crazy benefits that you get, including highlighted name in chat, not having to abide by the slow mode rules of the chat, getting a chat crown badge to show how long you've been a supporter, access to all of my emotes. And by the way, everything I just described not only applies to stream chat, but all the comments of my videos as well, where you'll be able to have all those features and comments as well. Okay? But in addition to that, when there's special events going on, the members get priority. For example, I just did an episode of Ask the King where the majority of questions I answered were from channel members. And then also, there was the whole Viewer's Choice event. The whole reason we're playing Batman Arkham Asylum this week is because the members nominated and voted for it, you see? So the members basically get a ton of features for being a member. If you like this channel, if you like the content I put out, and you'd like to support it in a way other than, say, a direct contribution, you want to help out others, gifting memberships is an option here on the channel, and it's a way to help out not only, the channel itself, but people around you as well who are watching. just like you. So maybe you want to consider gifting some memberships to people on the channel as well. All right? All this stuff is great. Thank you in advance for anyone who becomes a member who gets a membership. And let's see if we can make that happen. Okay? Outside of that, you know, before we get to shout outs and we get to Q&A and all of that, I just want to say, guys, thank you. Obviously, we have an annoying troll element here today. You know, this happens from time to time. We get annoying ass trolls who come in and try to derail the stream. And we got a bunch of assholes today. And the moderators are doing their best, and I'm doing our best to handle it. Quick reminder, the best way, the absolute best way to handle trolling is to not pay attention to it. You see it's happening, whatever. Ignore it and move on, and we'll do our best to handle it. You don't have to publicly address it. Even me just doing this is kind of too much, but I just want to say it up front. You know when trolling is happening. It's stupidity. You just ignore it. You take care of it. It's fine. And we just have a good stream together. I apologize if it happened, but again, quite frankly, it's much better here than it ever was on Twitch. On Twitch, it was almost uncontrollable. Even us trying really hard on Twitch, people found ways around it. Here, yeah, sometimes people can find ways around it, but we've got a lot of control over it, which is a good thing. Okay? All right. One final thing, because Joe Man actually just reminded me of it. We're currently at 199,000 subscribers to DSP Gaming. All right? And I want to give credit where credit is due. Kagome yesterday had a good idea and said, you know, it's going to take you a little bit to hit 200K, which it is. It's probably going to take me a few more months. I don't think I'm going to hit 200K soon. We just hit 199. So likely it's going to take me a few more months, especially with new releases coming out, to hit 200K subs. But once we hit 200K subs, I'm feeling like we can do a bunch of celebratory stuff. One of the things that we can do is possibly go back and take a look at some of the oldest playthroughs I ever did. Back in the day, 14 years ago. I'm talking things that weren't even full playthroughs, like Star Wars The Force Unleashed, the first game, or Mercenaries 2, or Fable 2, or other things. Because what I would do, all right, is look back and look at those original playthroughs that I did, the oldest content I ever put out, and look at those and say, what are some things that maybe I never replayed or never redid that would be fun to just jump back into them for, you know, I'm not saying I'm necessarily going to do full playthroughs, but just to kind of jump back in and do like blast from the past kind of stuff as kind of a milestone celebration. I think that would be kind of neat, especially because, like I said, some of the earlier stuff I did, I never went back and redid at all in the modern era. True, Saints Row 2, that's a good one, Senior Slidman. Yeah, Saints Row 2, I only did highlights. I never actually did a playthrough of the game. I just did highlights of it. But of course, there'll be other things we'll do as well. What I would like to say is let's begin the discussion, the dialogue around when because at this point it's an inevitability. Like, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And the question is, how long will it take for me to get another 1,000 subscribers? It's probably going to take a while, okay? But once the new releases start to hit later on, you know, this year, I feel like we're going to have enough interest that people will come to the channel, subscribe to the new release playthroughs and whatever. And likely maybe by the end of the year, we'll actually hit the 200K. And then we got to talk about how do we celebrate it. And that's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in seeing how can we celebrate this cool milestone. So any other ideas, I'm open. I'm open to ideas of anything that you guys want to suggest that we could do to celebrate. Holy crap. Squirrel just gifted 50 memberships. Shout out to Wonder McThunder, Black Lady Walking, Incoherent Octopus, Butters, Thriller 2700, Jerry, Brian Burkett, Filbert, Dak Mile, Souk Medic, Mustache NC, The End Is Near, Baby Oil Beatdown, Alberto, Mighty Pete, Exotic Gaming, Tyler, Tommy Nook, a name I can't read, Sub Silver, Faldrin, JL, Nathan Wong, Shrapnel Cannon, Jason, John R, Life at the Outpost, Vincy Valentine. I can't even read them all. There's so many scrolling on the screen, I can't read them all. I'll try to jump back in. Heat Reed 896, Straw Hat Man, Carl 7700, Daz, Dante C, Stacy, Elias, Elliot Brown, KO, Mets Jets. Oh my God. Mark McCauley got one. Liam got one. Holy shit. And then scroll to the super chats. I think we hit the goal, folks. It's very possible we just did. Thank you so much, Squirrel. That is insane. A 50 membership bomb. That's the biggest one we've had so far. 50 in one go. I don't think we've ever had 50 in one go. We had 20 a couple times. We never had 50. Woo, man. So if that's the case, which I will, it looks like it froze now. I don't know if all 50 people got them or not. Hold on. See, I knew this was going to happen. What happens is when there's a membership bomb like that, sadly, it doesn't work properly in Streamlabs anymore. Like, I can't see everyone who got one. I wish I could shout them all out. I did my best to read them out of the chat, but they don't all show up in Streamlabs, so I can't actually shout them out, which sucks. I'd like to give everyone a shout out who just got one. First of all, if you got one, thanks Squirrel. Squirrel's the person who just did a 50-member bomb on the channel. All right? Now, let's see how many we got. A ton of people just got them. Let's see how many memberships we're at. I hope, at this point, I think we might have hit the goal. Unless we dropped a ton this morning. I think we've hit it. Wow, wait a minute. I'm not exaggerating. According to YouTube, I only have 564. Now, I don't know if that's because there weren't enough people to accept the gifted memberships. Like the way gifted memberships work on YouTube is that you have to opt in to get it. Okay? And if you don't opt in, basically that membership, I guess, doesn't count. Yeah. So, according to this, we're only at 564. That's what it said. I'll wait. I'll check again in a little bit. I will. I'll check again in a little bit. But it also, Kagome says, mine expired. So what might have happened is there might have actually been a sub bomb a month ago, and it expired during this pre-stream, and then this new sub bomb came in, so the net growth is about 20 members. You see what I'm saying? Like, there were a 20-member bomb last month, and then, a 30-member bomb last month that expired today. That's how Kagome just lost their membership, you see? Or it could be that, that there aren't enough people to accept all those gifted memberships. I don't know.
Can you talk to me and go?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna pretend that.
At the exact time, we'll plan to finish it maybe at the exact time, but think about it. When would have been the most likely time that someone would gift memberships to the channel? When I'm doing the pre-stream, right? I'm doing the podcast, someone's generous, boom, they drop a big member bomb. Especially if you remember last month, at the very end of the month is when we did get a couple member bombs to hit all the goals, so we could do the special things for last month. Remember the marathon and everything? So it's kind of likely. That's how we hit the Rob Gavigan member goal. So maybe it is. I think this might have been the actual exact 1 month. Let me refresh, because like I said, I'm going to keep looking. Let me keep looking. I don't want to shortchange this. I want to obviously update properly and give credit and get the member goal. I want to do it. I want to do the event, Let me check again. According to this, we're at 564. That's what it says. I'm refreshing. Well, I can check again later, but that's what it's telling me, 564. So.
Somebody else got it.
Excuse me. The good news is, yes, obviously that was incredibly helpful. Thank you, Squirrel. And we did get a good jump I think it was over 20 members. But yeah, we're still a little short. Email says he did a 50-member bomb in the beginning of the month. Thank you, Email. You're right. You did. So it's a tie. The most members we ever had as a bomb is 50. So it was Email at the beginning of the month and Squirrel here at the end of the month, tied for 50 members. That's the most we've ever had on YouTube. So thank you guys for that. Is that what you think that's what it is? We don't have enough people opting in. I don't know though. How many people? Is there anyone? All right, let me ask this: is there anyone opted in to a gifted membership that didn't get one? Because if that's the case, then we did have 50 people accept. My problem is sadly I can't see exactly how many people accepted. There's no way to do that. Okay, Anara says I am opted in. I didn't get one. Scallop Potato says I'm opted in. I didn't get one. Okay. Sadly, I wish I could help you guys with knowing how to opt in. I don't. I don't know how the whole thing works. for me, like when I log into the chat, there's a glitch that tells me to opt in. Obviously, I can't opt into a membership for my own channel, but sometimes it even pops up for me. Okay. Yeah. Oh, it definitely is. Skull Potato says the members gifting system is somehow behind the ball on Twitch. How do they manage that? Because so the whole system is different. Here, the chat room isn't even a chat room. The chat room is a running comments system on a video. It's not even an interactive chat. So without having an interactive chat, you can't have the features they have over on Twitch. And until they change that, it'll always be behind the ball. Yeah, sucks. So for now, it says 560. I will check again later. I figured give it a little while, maybe give it a half an hour. We'll check again and see if that's updated. Maybe it will be more and it just didn't settle yet. But for now, it says 560. But hey, Squirrel, thank you so much. I mean, that's ginormously helpful to the channel. But there is a chance that sadly there was like a 30-member bomb that expired today. I mean, Kagome says he did just lose his membership. So it could be that. Like I said, I remember at the end of June, we were trying to hit the goal to do the Rob Gavigan React event, and there was a bunch of 20-member bombs, or excuse me, like big member bombs at the end of June. Well, now Squirrel just gifted more memberships. Congratulations to Only Cold Beer, Seal, Sean Reed, Hearns Beats, Big Bubba Bernstein, Ultra Volt, Scallop Potatoes, Ice Machine, Protusum Zone, Twice Stand, Moon Flaps, Jason Laszlo, Hybrid, One Button Dash, Susu Pri, Anna Faye, Big Boss, Susie Sims, Ethan Pinder, Craig N. Cameron L. Is that 20? Okay. So so what that tells us, there was a 20-member bomb that expired today. Okay. Now let's check again. Thank you so much, Squirrel, being insanely nice to everyone here today, including myself, obviously, but you guys too. Everyone, please thank Squirrel. Thank you so much, Squirrel, for the support of DSP Gaming. Let's take a look at what we're at now.
Mom.
Fresh.
Abigail, it's hard to ask. Abigail, see if you can ask it. See if you
Okay.
can ask Skipper.
We're only at 515. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
What?
We're at 584 members. We are 1 member short from hitting the tier 2 members goal for the month. 584. I know you guys freaked out. You thought I was being serious for a second there. 584, guys. We're 1 away. A single membership away. So at this point, you have to think it's going to happen. I would be absolutely positively shocked if we did not get the tier 2 members goal for the month. And by the way, there will not be a tier 2 members goal. This is it for this month. After this, we'll think about what we want to do for next month. Okay? Holy moly. Email just gifted 5 memberships. Wow. Squirrel just gifted 5 memberships. Kaido, 6, Ryan, Ugly Ginger 12, The Red Prince, Ayana Stansu, Miami Small Man, Joseph McClellan, This Justin, Brink 2. Congratulations to all of you on the gifted memberships. And thank you, Email, and thank you, Squirrel, for the gifted memberships. No, I did not insult the looks of that ginger. His name was Ugly Ginger. Stop that right now. Okay, now let's take a look. Holy shit. Did we do it? We're at 594 members. Yes. 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 Woo. We did it. We hit it. Finally. That was some work, but we did it. And thank you again. Thank you, Squirrel. Thank you, Email. And of course, thank you to anyone else who became a member this month or gifted memberships this month. You know, yesterday, AJ dropped like 40 or something like that. Which is greatly appreciated. So that means, indeed, we have locked into the next React event. When will the next React event be? Within the first 2 weeks of August. I'm thinking we have a special event this Saturday, so not this Saturday. We don't want to do another one right away. So I would say probably around mid-August. By the way, there's almost no new releases whatsoever in the month of August. It's an incredibly slow month for games. So it would absolutely make sense to around mid-August to do this event. Actually, it's the third week of August when a bunch of new releases come out, including Saints Row, Midnight Fight Express, Pac-Man World Repack, and other stuff. So, yeah, let's do it around the middle. In fact, how about this? Why don't we just do it ahead of time? So this Saturday, the 30th, is What's in Phil's Closet event. Okay. Saturday, August 6th, no, nothing. Let's do it on Saturday, August 13th. What do you guys think about that? How do you feel about that? Saturday, August 13th, we'll do a special React event. Or do you want to do the 20th? We can do either the 13th or the 20th would work. Let's talk it out then. Let's talk it out over the next week or two. So either Saturday, August 13th or Saturday, August 20th, we'll do a special event. The next React event, and what will happen is soon, probably in August, we'll start having you guys vote on what you want to see me react to. Fair enough? Okay, cool. 2 thumbs up on that. Thank you guys so much for the support today. Much appreciated. That being said, I think we need to get to shout outs. It's almost 12:30. Holy shit. DSP reacts to watching squirrel videos. There you go. By the way, we're at 594 members. The most we've ever had was 634. I think it was 634, and that was, I think, a month ago. So we're relatively close to the record that we've ever had here on DSP Gaming. But the goal was, that was what the goal was, because we were trying to kind of get back to where we were. There you go.
Hey, Dad, remember before we were streaming,
Okay.
we would watch the other dude that was
Shout
playing
outs.
games, and when he was mad at the game, he would watch
So obviously,
the,
ginormous shout out to Squirrel, an email this morning for all the gifted memberships. Let's see here. So Folivora did a super chat and said, keep up the good work. I'm a new fan. Thank you, Folivora, for the super chat. And by the way, I think my thing glitched. It did, because I actually think there was more than this. Shit. Yeah, so it looks like Habib Gaming re-upped his membership this morning. Thank you for that. And then Folivora became a member and then also did the super chat. Thank you for that. Ugly Sonic did a super chat saying, it's a shame that you can't gift memberships on mobile. Yeah, you can't. From what I'm not understanding, you can only gift memberships on desktop computers right now. Obviously, that's something that likely in the long term they'd like to change or whatever. But yeah, right now, that is it. You cannot actually gift memberships on a mobile device. There's a lot of stuff you can't do on mobile YouTube. It's very limited. Thank you for the super chat there, Ugly Sonic. Captain DCW re-upped his membership saying he caught COVID. That sucks. He is super supporter, by the way. Thank you for the higher level of support. He says he'll be hanging out here for a few days because he doesn't feel well. He's under the weather. He's stuck at home. I was literally at the beginning of today's Level 1 podcast. Captain, I was just saying to you guys, you're not the only one. There's a bunch of people who've been telling me they got COVID in like the last 2 days, and people from all over the world. We're not just talking in the U.S., someone from Australia, someone from Singapore. Everyone's like, yeah, we all got COVID. Like, wow. It's like whatever this new strain is must be fucking crazy that everyone's getting it. So everyone out there, please be safe. Do what you need to do to stay healthy if you can. So obviously it's not totally your fault if you get sick, but I don't want to hear, so many people getting sick. It sucks. That's terrible. I hope you feel better, Captain DCW, and thanks for chilling with us on the stream. Okay. After that, it also looks like Joe Man re-upped his membership. He's a big up Spill, almost 200K subs. That's right. We talked about that. Thank you, Squirrel, for those membership bombs. And thank you, Email, for the membership bomb. Okay. That covers everything. Because what happens is when you guys drop those membership bombs, it completely screws up my Streamlabs queue. And I can't actually see everything to give shout outs. So I had to look at my YouTube page. Okay. All right. So, hold on a second here. On the tip side of things, I think we have 2 tips to shout out today.
What?
We've got an anonymous tipper who tipped $5. They said both Stray and as thus far playthroughs were so damn fun and entertaining. You had great commentary and the stream chat was hilarious, especially during As Dust Falls. I love your content so much, and you'll always be my favorite YouTuber. That was something very nice to say. Thank you to the anonymous tipper. I really appreciate that very, very much. Thank you to the anonymous tipper for a $5 tip and the very kind words. I was happy to have
Give it to me.
the content broken up. You know what I'm saying? I was very happy to have that not all be retro stuff, although I'm happy to jump back into the retro stuff this week.
That's how I like
And
it, right?
Miko Fire tipped $1.50 and says, thank you for the stream, Phil. You are welcome. Thank you for the tip. Okay. So,
It's spicy white.
we covered everything. Right? I think wow. Is that literally perfect timing? We just finished
It's not like
the Level 1 podcast exactly at the right time to end, do a quick break, reuse the restroom, and jump into Fable again. Wow. Don't ask me how that works. Fortuzo Zone says, did you address the Level 1 podcast stuff? Are you talking about what I talked about yesterday? That the trolls are essentially trying to say that someone has a trademark on Level 1 podcast or whatever? First of all right. In a nutshell, should I cover it again very briefly? Yeah, so I don't know if any of this has any merit of anything truthful or not. Trolls are trying to start something against me and basically say, oh, see, he renamed his show to the Level 1 podcast, but there's already a podcast out there called Level 1 Podcast. Therefore, he's violating someone's rights. Okay? This is all wrong. Number one, I'm not violating anyone's copyright rights because I haven't stolen any copyrighted content at all. It's all my original content. Okay? They have no grounds to stand on copyright. Trademark-wise, I looked into it. There is no podcast called the Level 1 Podcast that's trademarked. Doesn't exist. I did a trademark search before I ever renamed this show, and there's no The Level 1 Podcast. There's no Level 1 Podcast. Nothing is trademarked. So if they say there is, good for them. It's not per the trademark office. There's no trademark of that name. That's number one. Okay. Number two, my show is called The Level 1 Podcast, and it's a show that has to do with gaming, of video games, and me and my personal streams and content. It has nothing to do with any other streams. There, at one point, over 2 years ago, there was a show called Level 1 Podcast that dealt with tabletop gaming. You know, like those games you have those little physical things you do on a tabletop, or kind of like simulation RPG stuff. And that show ended in January 2020, and they rebranded to be a completely different show, and it has been defunct since then. Okay, so there is absolutely no leg to stand on for anything they're saying legally. They don't know what they're talking about. They're literally making up shit to try to cause drama on the internet that has absolutely, positively nothing to do with anything. Okay. Even if someone were trying to trademark the name, it takes a ridiculously long time. It takes a lot of money to do it. And then you have to establish precedent that no one else is out there basically doing what you're doing, which they probably couldn't do because they would search and say, oh, look, Level 1 Podcast already exists. You see? So, no, nothing they're saying is any truth. It's bullshit. And I don't know why. It seems like every day now someone's bringing it up. It's complete nonsense. Okay, it is. It's complete bullshit. It's nonsense. It has nothing to do with anything. You don't have to pay attention to it. It's just white noise, just like everything else that they all say and do. It's white noise. You can ignore it. Fair enough? Okay, thank you. All right, guys. Thank you for a great episode of the Level 1 Podcast. I hope you enjoyed the show. As always, thank you. I'm ecstatic that we hit the members goal for the month. This was great. Now we can lock into our next special event. I'm so excited. Thank you all. And stay chill. Stay healthy. Until next time. Awesome. Okay. Excuse me. So, let us switch over and get ready. I am going to take a brief break to use the restroom. It's very brief. It's not going to be a long break or anything. I also want to see my wife still here. She's going to work. I want to say goodbye to her before she leaves. We're good. I think we're actually right where we need to be. Let me just change the webcam to the correct resolution.
I'm sorry that I wasted yours.
Wear your glasses.
Can you warm up banana, please?
That looks too big. Oh, shit. Now I can do it right and I screwed it up. I think that's where it needs to be for Fable as well. All right. Let's take a brief break. We'll be back in a few minutes, and then we'll jump back into Fable. Thank you, guys. I'll see you in just a bit.
What's up, everyone?
Yeah, because you're way higher than me. Yeah. I'm walking
Later.
Oh, this little girl is saying, hey, bestie. they're stealing all her bananas. And stealing her bananas. Okay, you got it? You stomped on me.
I just want to kill the book. I'm trying to kill the dude that stomped on you. That's what I need. Hey, Bessie! Stomp on me. Actually, I need 11 bananas. Right banana.
Hey, Bestie stomped on you. 250 bananas around.
More. I'm finally big.
Julia, get him, please. He's about. Red hair dude is about to stomp on me.
Nisa! Don't stop on her!
Julia, now stomp on the queen.
You're bigger than me!
You're so tall still, though. You look so cute like that, Julia. You're so shorted.
Oh! What bananas to go?
Oh, hey, Bestie's after me. Oh. I used to.
All right.
Hey, Abigail!
I'm trying to look
I need someone to eat.
Here he comes.
I need someone to eat, please.
No, I'm better than you. Okay, I'm better than you.
Oh!
I warned you.
Give me bananas! Take me.
I want to eat this because it's probably.
No, well, we're never eat. We eat it all, please. Abigail, help! Leave me!
I might need to eat you to become clean and good.
You want that to happen?
Hey, Bestie. That's so nice of her.
She's staying by your legs.
Oh no, this dude's it.
No worry, I gotta protect you. Hey, Bestie, follow me.
I'll distract you.
I need bananas. Okay, just let me go back and I'll fight a fight. No, I just give me a second. I'm here.
Julia, take your secret.
No, it's still greater than you. Just give me that banana. No. Hey.
You got it, bro.
No.
I don't feel weakness. Someone needs. I need it.
Abigail, I'm gonna go back soon. Don't worry. I'm back. Oh. That's not done. Everybody make the food now. Everybody left.
Okay, let's put the bananas over here.
Go down.
Nice Wednesday today.
Let's go.
Where will you eat
Eat food. I want to eat the ice food.
I'm gonna eat someone, Julia.
I need to get bigger for you.
Okay, Julia, I think you're big enough for me. Thanks.
No, don't fight the king yet.
I'm gonna fight this dude. And I'm gonna see how. Julia, look at me, I'm so short. And I do like this and that's so bad.
Wait.
Daddy, that's so big.
Daddy says that.
Kind of funny.
What? Daddy says that? can't just leave them like this. I need someone to meet, please, Abigail. Like you.
I am the bright queen.
Abigail, I need a perform the queen.
Please, eat her if anything, please. Eat her.
Yes.
And eat the Luna guy. And then grow back for you.
Abigail, help me, girl. Get bigger than me.
Julia.
Let go. Come here, come here.
Someone just said negatively about me every day. I just don't like it. Just I'm completely desensitized to it at this point. Really, like it was like, oh, you see, a panda and a cat and this and that. But so I guess, oh, I see. So what you're saying is that think about it in a negative
Come
way.
here. I'm here. I'm
So
here.
panda would have been my ex-girlfriend, Panda Lee. A cat would be my wife, Catherine,
Eat her.
right?
I
And
can't.
so now you say, okay, I get. So this is a troll, is what you're saying. Okay. So now I have to waste my time.
Stay big.
And I have to scroll up to find the guy. See how tiring this is? I have to go here and say, okay, hi, Gino, you're banned.
Julia, just come over here.
Lean Manual ban. Ha ha ha.
No.
Ha.
You sound
wow.
defeated.
Big hoopla deal, right? Big hoopla deal. I don't care about this shit. I don't. I really give two fucks. I just want to play Babel and chill with you guys. I don't care about this nonsense, man. It's so stupid. It really is incredibly dumb.
Julia, I'm here.
It's so stupid. All right.
I'm a grown up. I grown up.
All right, let's get
gotta eat my
it up
bananas.
here. Remember, we're in the arena, which we did like, it's loud. Shit. We gotta lower it. It's too loud. Blew my ears out here. If you remember, we're in the arena, but we didn't have time to finish it. So we have to redo the arena from the start, which is fine. We only did like maybe 5 to 10 minutes of it. It's not a huge deal. It is a little annoying. We gotta redo content though.
I'm not gonna give up today. Oh no, he's bigger than me. Help, Abigail. I need to eat someone.
Jasper,
I know,
Kitty, what you
but
up to, buddy?
I
Excited
don't
for
know
today?
if I'm gonna make it to you.
Jasper's excited he gets to be in the office again today.
Give me someone.
As you guys know, I wish that we had a more consistent, that we had a more consistent schedule for Jasper to be on my streams. But as I've told you guys, his availability to be on the stream is directly dependent on, my wife and when she works. Because as you know, if he's in here, he wants the door to be open. If the door's open when I'm talking and doing commentary, it booms through the house. My wife is home; she doesn't want to hear my voice booming through the house all day. So when she's at work, he can come in here, and it's very frustrating. Because I would like to say, hey, Jasper will be here this day, and this day every week. And if you guys like Jasper Kitty to be a part of the streams, come on in there. I can't. Every week is different. Just for example, this week, I thought my day off was going to be Wednesday, and then it got moved to Thursday, and I had to change the schedule. You see?
I'm second place, Abigail.
Was Jasper
I
as upset about the ending of Stray? I don't know if he was necessarily upset. He was in it for a lot of Stray, actually. I took pictures of him staring at the TV. What I did, I took a bunch of pictures. I'll probably share them with people over time. I realized I don't want to just like bomb the internet with all pictures of Jasper right away. That I just maybe space it out a bit. So I'll probably put up some more pictures of him in time. But I just in the last week I had to put up 3 or 4 pictures of him. So. However, a lot of people have desire or expressed desire to see more Jasper. I will absolutely have more pictures of him. Can I pick him up? Yeah, he's right here. Jasper, come over here. We want to see you.
You're fine.
Come here, Jasper.
Come back.
He doesn't want to come over here.
I
He's staring at
don't
you.
go after me. I want to be big like you.
He's staring at you. He absolutely will not come up here. This is the thing with Jasper. He's an autonomous cat. He does what he wants. And a lot of the times he wants to be a part of the action or whatever. Right now, he doesn't want to be a part of the action.
I'm
Okay.
second.
Holy shit, what was
In
that?
your pocket, and I won't eat you.
Right? It was crazy.
Millions. That's why you don't mess with me.
Okay.
The better.
So we got to do the whole freaking thing over again. It is what it is. How do I? Wait a minute.
I don't think a wipeout is gonna work.
Right? Gotta heal. Okay, I'm gonna slowly regenerate all my stuff. I'm also gonna see if I can buy potions and stuff. Okay. What's up, Guts? How you doing, man? Jade, yes, insane amount of new members today, Jade, thanks to several member bombs on the pre-stream or overall podcast, as I call it now. I'm very happy about that. Obviously, we did our goal, which is awesome, right? Okay. How is the volume, guys? I can't remember what level I need the volume because of the game. I forgot completely. Does it sound all right? Let me walk around a little bit. And obviously, I gotta buy items that this guy sells them. I want to try to buy potions and stuff. But how does it sound? It sounds extremely low. How do you roll? What? How do you roll? What do you do? Huh? There's a finger? I know you run with A. I forgot how to roll. Oh, right bump. Okay. I haven't played it for a week, so I gotta remember it. It's too. Okay, it's too low. I'll up it a little bit. There you go. Hopefully that's a little better. Okay. Yay! Enchantment! There's a reference. Okay. Hopefully it's a little better. I made it louder now. Do I read every email? Ice Machine, I try. Sadly, what I've actually heard is recently a lot of emails sadly get hit by spam filters because I get so many emails on a daily basis now that anyone who puts in like a link or anything to an email usually hits a spam filter, and they tell me later, oh, I sent you an email and I gotta search my spam, which is like a ridiculous amount of emails a day to even find anything. So it sucks. I do my best, I really do. I mean, obviously one of the better ways to reach me for something that's not private would be to just talk it out here like on the stream or whatever. But obviously if you have something to talk to me about behind the scenes, yeah, email's the way to go, but I can't guarantee I see everyone. I do my best. I do my absolute best. In particular, recently a lot of people sent me advice on PC builds. The whole last week, I'm only on podcast to talk about PC builds. And so many people
said he like getting tickled more.
I appreciate that. I did read every one of those that I saw. I swear to you. I just couldn't respond to many of them because there were so many. There's dozens. X-Shooter, what's going on? How are you? This is what's up. What's going on, man? I'm ready to start. If everyone is ready to start, I'm ready to start. It's going to be very grindy, though. Right? It's going to be a lot of grinding to get to this arena. I'm trying to get my HP regenerated right now. I mean, me too, Scope. Jake says, I'm sorry for you to get an upgrade. The thing is, it's kind of a mixed bag because as much as I need the upgrade, absolutely it's going to be a situation where I have to relearn a new setup and get everything working on it, which will probably take a while. A lot of people think it's going to be as simple as I plug it in and immediately I'm streaming at full capacity. I don't think it could be further from the truth. I think it's going to be a lot of work.
I meant the white balance on
multiple days of streaming.
To see Philip.
But obviously, I'm grateful.
I think it's gonna look like a Spectre the whole stream.
Get me upgraded because of the issues that
I'm not closing my windows.
So we'll see what happens. Okay, anyway, we're ready to resume.
I care about bananas and the people.
Or my shutters.
Okay, here we go. Let's start.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fable Anniversary. It has been about a week since I last played this. There have been a lot, well, I say a lot, 2 high-profile new releases that came out in the last week that I wanted to check out, which I did, and that sucked out a lot of my streaming time. So I wasn't really able to play much or any Fable in the last week. Now, if you remember last time around when we were playing this, we were in the arena. Try that again. Jasper ran out of the door terrified at last scene. It's okay, baby. All I do is sneeze. He jumped and ran out the door. I scared him some. So anyway, last time around we began with the arena. Now, if you do the arena as an optional challenge, but in this part of the game, you actually have to do it as a quest. And so we got pretty far. Then we got maybe, 3, 4, 5 levels in. But then I ran out of time.
Okay,
When I
fine.
ran out of time, I couldn't continue on, which sucked because obviously I wanted to keep going and finish up what I'm going. I guess. So today we're going to attempt to continue.
Now kill him.
Where's the guy who sells potions? Isn't there a vendor that sells potions? Maybe there's not.
Did you get bigger than
Why would there be? Wouldn't you think there's a vendor who sells potions here?
Let me get please.
The only vendor here appears to sell armor, no
I don't know
potions.
how that
I
happened.
wanted to,
You're the one that came.
Redo the potion or restock on
That's
it.
so fun too.
All right, Butter. See you later. I got an email a while ago. I was looking at membership. I want to stop by and say thank you. A lot of people took the membership this morning. Congrats, Butters. And we'll enjoy for the next month. Cool. Is this too loud now? No, people saying it's too loud. I'll lower it a bit. All right, so I don't. First of all, I can't see. It's too dark in here, and I don't see a vendor that sells potions. Right? That's the game master. I don't care about him. So you got highlights of who you can interact with, and that's it. Just the game master and the vendor that only sells armor. So I guess we can't restock on potions, which is really stupid.
Okay, save everything. Okay, so you can have every one by minute. Okay?
Always great to see you. Yeah. I'm
You can have
pleased to
everything
serve
but me. Okay?
Then leave all the little kids to me like
All armor. Wasn't
Okay,
always
you
the
can have
bottom. I don't think it is. 'Cause it doesn't have a potion section. No.
Then protect me and leave the little to me for to eat them.
How am I supposed to protect you? You're bigger than me.
It's right there.
No. Give me the little. That's
I
how
own
you protect me.
6.
Okay, eat the
So let's
little.
buy
for me.
10.
Not eat them.
How much money do I have? 21,000.
I said
Let's
you
buy
can have
another
everything
10.
but me.
Come
I
on,
only
eat
own
them
3
for
of
me.
these, so let's buy 20
This is
of these.
about to be board quick. I'm about to play Persona.
Okay, now we
I
should
have
be
the
good.
green one and you have the yellow one.
The yellow
Yeah, now we
short.
should be good.
Yellow one's
Yeah, she
fat.
sells augmentations too. Interesting.
Give me one.
All right, we restocked.
Get
He
this
did.
one.
No,
So
This is
here,
a different
have
part of
one.
the name.
nominated for the arena.
All right, we gotta go back to the arena. Who we talk to do that? This guy? This guy here?
First thing I was learned here, but
No. How do I go back to the arena? This way?
you ready yet?
Are we doing it again?
I have to go out there. The next foes are dead hard. Dead hard, did you say?
Remember
Oh my
my
God.
cycle bikes.
Okay.
Remember my words.
These two did a great job last round, ladies and gentlemen. Give them a big hand.
So wait, does it resume?
Next round is a real takeover.
Oh, it does. I don't have to redo it. It's gonna resume. Okay, I'm happy about that. Sweet. I thought you had to do it from the beginning.
3, 2,
I don't know why it's so dark.
1.
Yeah, I'm big.
Someone?
Yeah, you want something, yeah? Look at me.
It's so dark. What's up with the colors being so dark? It's someone's birthday. Whose birthday? Veil Shroud. Happy birthday. If you gave me your birthday for a Shroud, you're joking. I'm serious.
Why doesn't he let me eat?
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Give me the banana. Protect me.
I got strong up. How am I supposed to protect you again? I also need to eat 8 bananas.
Put the cup on me.
Calm down.
I got some. You should check it tonight. It's Julia. Robin. The banana. Robin. Give me banana.
Looking cool, so big. Please, real bigger. I need to eat. I'm so sorry.
Did you already eat it?
No, I'm not. You're my sister. You're probably gonna be bigger than me if anything. Here.
Eat me. I like the fucking sweet. Hey, there's a mouse now. Yeah, there's one. Let's go. One second, I don't know how to me. I want to eat. And when I want to eat, I say I'm hungry, so sacrifice the light to me. I don't believe. Still, ever, let's get big enough. Just give me that bubble juice. Everybody's sacrificing to the king. Like you can go down to the don't be Julia, can you protect all the bananas for me? Hey, one banana, not good. Yeah, that's what I saw. Julia, just throw this juice after me. Hey, shoot! Yeah, that's right. Oh, this dude ate me. How are you gonna eat you? This dude stomped on me. I need 13. Give me 13 bananas. Sorry. Everybody's walking in place. What about you? I still can't eat bananas. I need a little bit. I'm gonna give me you. I need a little bit with me. Why is everybody going?
Yeah, this new skill.
Make your way eat bananas. Not to make me cake. I want to play speed ball. Speed ball, come on. Fine. Oh, it just started. Come on. Okay. It's all of me, but it's just like playing stop it. It's only got that.
I'll reveal your
It's
true
like
form.
stop area. Don't like me like that. Don't like playing stop area. You're not going to be playing this thing. You're going to be playing that game. Be wrong, yes. And you play stop area. That's why. I don't like this one. I don't like it. I just don't like something. And tap people's roles, but if you just flip the wall to work, then you can stop all of it. Make it